Welcome to the Unpacking It podcast with Bryce Johnson. It's a show that unpacks sports, faith, and life with intriguing guests from the sports and entertainment world. Enjoy inspiring conversations and thought-provoking interviews. You'll hear stories from people that will inspire, challenge, and encourage you. Now, from the Unpacking It studios in Charlotte, North Carolina, uniting sports fans everywhere, here is Bryce Johnson.
And joining us now is Garrett Bradbury, an NFL draft prospect from NC State. He was honored as the nation's most outstanding center last year as he won the Remington Trophy and is one of the top linemen in this year's draft class. He played his high school football at Charlotte Christian, where he was a tight end, and he joins us right now on Unpacking It. Garrett, thanks so much for being with us. How are you?
Doing good, Bryce. Appreciate you having me.
Oh, man, absolutely. So this is I'm sure, a very exciting and wild time in your life. And so what has the draft process been like for you so far?
It's been busy. I mean, they call it a 4-month job interview for a reason. Because it's drawn out. It truly is a 4-month process. And there's a bunch of steps along the way. I went out to Phoenix, Arizona to train and had a senior bowl down in Mobile in January, and then back to Phoenix to train, and then the combine in Indianapolis, and now I got pro day to look forward to. So a bunch of different steps in the process, and you just got to show these scouts and these teams kind of who you are as a player and a person. So
yeah. So what was the draft combine like specifically? Was it what you anticipated, or was it a little different?
It was awesome. It was there's the most important part of the combine is the medical aspect and the interview aspect. And so those went really well. And then other than that, it's just awesome being around some of the top prospects in this year's draft, some of the top coaches and NFL personnel in the league. You just in the meetings, you get to hear from a lot of important coaches and GMs and just kind of talk ball with them. So I loved it doing that stuff. I went out to Phoenix and trained for 2 months for it. So, You hope that your preparation and it kind of pays off. So you just go in there with confidence and you're ready to perform. So, it was an unbelievable experience, and I was truly blessed to have been able to be a part of it.
Yeah, we're talking with Garrett Bradbury here on Unpacking It. And so you're doing all these interviews and they're asking you questions like, what is your experience even from the past have you been interviewed over the years for, I don't know, summer jobs or whatever, or was that kind of a whole new experience for you to kind of face different questions, whether football or even personal related?
Yeah, it's super different because you're kind of taught throughout your sports career that humility goes a long way and kind of give all the credit to your team and stuff like that. And then when you're put in these interviews, you're kind of supposed to kind of brag about yourself a little bit, which is it was kind of different. You want to look confident but not cocky, and it was really good. You went through some like interview training throughout the process, which helped. And the greatest piece of advice that I heard was don't tell them what you think they want to hear. Tell them just kind of who you are. Just talk with them. They just want to see who you are. So It was really good.
That's really cool. Garrett Bradbury, NFL draft prospect from NC State. He's a center here on Unpacking It. And even along those lines of advice that you've received, what other kind of words of wisdom have people been sharing with you as you go through this draft process?
This process is important, and it's drawn out 4 months. They're trying to figure out who you are, but it's really not end all be all. Football is the most important part. You train for the 40-yard dash, but how many linemen are gonna be running a 40-yard dash? So just understand that it is what it is. They want to see you go out there and compete, but at the end of the day, in a few months, you'll have rookie OTAs where you're going to be playing football, and that's where their value is. So just keep that in the back of your mind while doing all this. Not take yourself too seriously.
Yeah, that is good advice. Well, I'm curious too. So we know that during football practices, offensive linemen so crucial to be in sync with the guys around you, and of course you're blocking for running backs and quarterbacks and all that. But for you, like individually, how are you getting better, and what does that look like day to day just to personally get better as a player before the draft and ultimately before minicamp and training camp?
January and February, I was really just doing combine training, speed training, 40 training, drill training. And so the beautiful thing about being invited to combine is that you don't have to do that at your pro day. And so I got to go to Indy and compete and do all those drills. So the idea is I don't have to repeat that pro day. I'll really just go in and do some offensive line drills and compete again. But this time I'm using right now, I get to just get back to a weight room, train to be a football player again, do offensive line drills outside. We were doing that out in Phoenix, but I'm just really taking this time right now to train, getting back into being a football player. So
no, that's excellent. And so, of course, a big part of your kind of football story is the fact that in high school you played tight end, and then at NC State you end up moving to playing center. So take me into what that transition was like, and how thankful you are that is the direction that you went on the football field.
Yeah, so came in as a tight end and redshirted and had shoulder surgery. So that was kind of a crazy redshirt year, and then moved to D-line for about 8 months from January to August because there was a need there. And then day one of that fall camp, I got called into coach's office, and he was like, listen, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, we're going to move you to O-line.
Wow.
And that was, after a full summer and spring and winter of going through D-line and hoping to play there. And then day one of training camp, you get moved to O-line. And it's not, no one grows up wanting to be an offensive lineman, but when he sat me down and told me that I was going to be getting every rep, which is what I was used to in high school. I didn't come off the field in high school. That's what I love. I was all aboard. I just wanted to play football again, which I didn't get to do my redshirt year, which was kind of foreign to me. And so I was like, all right, I'm all about it. And looking back, it's easily the best decision that anyone's ever made for me.
No, absolutely. And so last year you were named the top center in college football, which is a huge honor. And I was listening to some of your speech at the award show for the Remington Trophy. And one thing that stood out to me, you were talking about the goals that you set before the season. You sat down with your coach and talked about just goals. And so what is your approach to goals? And even now at this stage, as you gear up for the NFL, what role do goals play in your life?
I think they're huge. I think they're everything. It's something that we do. I'm not sitting there setting goals in August. We did it in January. That was a big thing.
Oh, okay.
And so the idea is you need to have something you're working to, but a big thing we talked about as a program is being process-oriented versus results-driven. I'm not sitting there day to day thinking about, listen, I'm not in game 2 saying I want to win the Remington Trophy. Game 2, I'm focused on, all right, if we have practice today, let's be as good as we can at practice. If I have meetings, let's lock in on film review. A great thing that my coach helped me with was setting those goals, but then going about your business day to day. And focus. It's talked about so much now, but it's true. And focusing on the process. And if you handle your day-to-day things and align your actions with what your goals are in your day-to-day activities, then you will reach those goals. What you're not going to do is win these awards and be all conference in week 3 or week 4. So instead of worrying about that, just going in and attacking the day, attacking the week. So I think that's what we try to do as a program, and that's what helped me the most.
Yeah, that's great advice. Garrett Bradbury, our guest right now on Unpacking It. He's an NFL draft prospect from NC State. And so as you look back at your college career and craziness on the football field to go from tight end to defense to center and now to be an NFL draft prospect, what was it like off the field? How much did you grow personally, and what was the experience like just as a student and as someone just kind of growing and maturing throughout your college years?
It was awesome. You grow so much in college because it's the first time you're really on your own and you can do what you want. And so throughout the years, I spent 5 years because of that redshirt year, which certainly needed all 5 years. Maturity standpoint, just learning what I need to do to be my best on and off the field. And that went from my diet to how much I value sleep as an athlete, and just little things like that. You start to learn how important they are if you want to perform your best. That's
awesome. And so what about from a faith perspective? In what ways did your faith grow in college, and how was it challenged?
It's challenged probably in the beginning years when, like I said, you're on your own and going to a Christian school and you're in church every Sunday, and then you go to college and you don't have to do anything if you don't want. And so you just get comfortable with, I'm just going to sleep in, or we don't get that much sleep because of football. And I don't need to go to church. And I think what really helps is, I mean, it's preached all the time, is surrounding yourself with the right people. And so that started to change the older I got, surrounding myself with more people that had similar faith, and guys were like, hold you accountable. Listen, we need to go do this. We had an awesome team chaplain. So going to his devotions on Sundays, and if you're with really good friends that are doing that as well, they'll hold you accountable. You'll hold them accountable. And so it's certainly, as you mature in your college career, I matured with my faith as well. So that was super important to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So along those lines too, was there, I don't know, some aspects of your understanding of who God is and his role in your life, some things that stand out that he really taught you, and that you know, are really a part of your foundation even as you head into the NFL, and knowing that there will be new challenges and it's a new phase of life. Just some of the principles that you really want to stick to.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things I'm still working at and still trying to grow with is the fact that this is not, it's not a checklist. Your religion, your faith is not a checklist that you're just trying to, all right, did I pray? Did I do this? Am I doing this? Versus it's a relationship, which is something that you just got to work at, continue to work at, stay consistent with. Like, very similar to what I was saying with your goals in football. You got to have certain goals with that relationship. And so you just got to stay consistent and committed to that. So that was one of the big things transferring from high school to college that I've learned and continue to learn. So
that's important. It is about a relationship with Jesus for sure. And Garrett Bradbury, our guest right now on Unpacking It, he's an NFL draft prospect from NC State. And so as you're about a month away from the draft, how are you doing with the anticipation of draft day? What's your mindset like, and what are some of the emotions that you're wrestling with?
I'm doing good. I kind of similar to what I was talking about, trusting the process. I really am just taking it one day at a time. I can't be drafted tomorrow. I can't be drafted next week. So there's not really a huge point in worrying about it. I mean, it's fun to speculate. It's fun to get antsy and just want to go play. But we say be where your feet are. And just focus on that. And so I'm just trying to be where my feet are. I have an awesome opportunity where I'm in Raleigh. I get to just work out all day long and hang out with some good friends. And the draft will come, and hopefully I hear my name called, but I'm not stressing over it too much. So
very cool. So what about as an offensive lineman? And you mentioned, all right, yeah, you didn't grow up necessarily wanting to be an offensive lineman. What does it look like as far as looking up to other offensive linemen, and even what are you looking for if you're watching guys in the NFL or watching tape of players that have been successful? What's that process been like for you, and do you have guys that you look up to?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've always loved watching NFL film in the off season, seeing guys at the highest level do it, and I'm really excited to see and be around these guys that have been in the league for a while, and just to learn why they've been so successful for so long. Because it is a physically demanding sport. And so from a recovery standpoint, from just everything they do in their free time, I'm ready to just be a sponge and soak up anything I can from these guys, because there's just a wealth of knowledge in a locker room in the NFL with guys that have played 10 plus years, which is crazy to think about. And so just super looking forward to the opportunity to meet them, hang out with them, learn from them, all the above.
Have you already bumped into maybe a player or coach that you did look up to, or you were kind of, I don't know, awestruck a little bit? And what's that like going now from, you're a college player to now, hey, I'm going to be in this league. This is my next step. This is the goal. But there's still that level of, wow, I'm talking to this guy, or I'm on the same field with this guy.
Not so much with players. I mean, there was a few veteran players out in Phoenix I was training with that got some good advice from them. Some coaches, it was pretty cool in meetings, like meeting with the Rams and talking with Sean McVay, or just little things like that where you're just like, wow, that's pretty crazy. We're just talking football. And I mean, once you get over that a little bit, you realize, I mean, they're all just football guys, and they love to talk ball, which is what I love to do as well. And so it's been an awesome experience, and I look forward to running into more guys like that, just learn as much as I can from them.
That's neat. No, that's a lot of fun. We're talking with Garrett Bradbury here on Unpacking It. He's an NFL draft prospect from NC State. He's a center and one of the top linemen heading into the draft. And so, all right, you're still a month away, but do you have plans for draft day? What are you thinking in that regard?
I'm not sure yet. I definitely want to be around the people that help me get where I am. Friends, family, coaches. Maybe go to Nashville, not sure yet. That's an invite-only thing.
Yeah.
Maybe my parents live at Lake Wiley now, so, it's going to be hard to beat Lake Wiley on draft day. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Haven't made any plans yet, but definitely looking forward to it.
Gotcha. Well, very cool. Well, I'm excited for you, and we'll be waiting to hear your name called and excited to see where you end up, and really appreciate you joining us here on Unpacking It and sharing some of the journey with us, and it's a fun time for you. So hopefully you're able to soak it in and like you say, enjoy the process. So really appreciate it, Garrett.
Absolutely, Bryce. Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Well, we'll catch up with him again soon. He's Garrett Bradbury joining us here on Unpacking It.
For more information about the show, our events, and other resources, visit unpackinit.com. That's unpackinit.com. We hope you are encouraged, inspired, and challenged by what you heard today. To support our show and Unpacking It Ministries with a financial gift, visit unpackinit.com/donate. We look forward to unpacking sports, faith, and life with you again next week.